Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be another Lord of the Rings video, or Amazon Lord of the Rings, HarperCollins republishing Lord of the Rings with the covers that Amazon wants them to publish, with Amazon characters coming from the new show Rings of Power that's going to come out in September later this year. So this news coming out of HarperCollins confirms a Reddit leak that came out on the 20th of April that was showing one of the leaked covers. Now let's take a look at what they are doing to these books and how they're using their new TV show that isn't even based on the novels to put their own covers and their own characters on the novels of Lord of the Rings, which isn't even set in the same time as what their show is going to be. And look at the backlash that they have been receiving. So here's the tweet, HarperCollins UK. A new legend begins this September in Rings of Power. Begin your journey to Middle-earth with these all new editions of Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings on sale this July. Now here's the image of the covers, which they tweeted out. So you can see there, Fellowship of the Ring with, I think is that War Galadriel, which doesn't have anything to do with the story. I think that might be Gil-galad in the second, and whoever they're trying to pass off as Sauron in the third one. This comes from the Reddit leak, as you can see from the front cover of Fellowship of the Ring, which is the same as the one they've just released right now. So Reddit was right 3 weeks ago when they showed this image. They were going to be using the Rings of Power images and characters to put on the cover of the Fellowship of the Ring novel. Now, it's interesting that they're putting it on a novel because the showrunners or the writers of this show actually said in the Vanity Fair piece, which we've talked about many times, the driving question behind this production, he adds, was this: can we come up with the novel Tolkien never wrote and do it as the mega event series that could only happen now? So it's interesting they're using their covers and their characters on the novels that Tolkien actually wrote with a show that the showrunners or the writers actually said, can we come up with the novel Tolkien never wrote? So they're using their own ideas of a novel that he never wrote to put their covers on a novel that he did write. And that is absolutely infuriating and L+ ratio for these guys, because you look at the quote tweets and look at what they say for L+ ratio right there. L, stick to your old copies, stop with the ugly covers. Aren't they like 100? No, it's thousands of years before Lord of the Rings. So they don't even know the time. Look, the people commenting in this don't even know the timelines. And there's a lot of people saying, oh, look, I might get it. It looks okay. And it's like, you obviously know nothing about what they're doing or the actual books themselves. See, people right here, I'm confused. I thought the show wasn't covering any of these books, which is right. I saw people say they have the rights to the appendices, so they might be able to tie it in there. No, the appendices. So they're saying that the appendices has some Lord of the Rings stuff. That's why the show is making its own thing. But if they had the Silmarillion rights, they would be able to use the First and Second Age material, which is vast. But they're not, and they're co-opting, they're hijacking the novels that Tolkien actually wrote to put their imagery with things that he never wrote. And they admittedly said, coming up with the things that he never wrote, the novel that he never wrote. And now this is what I said, it's disgusting, absolutely disgusting. You should be ashamed. Now the comparison that I drew as well that people may find easier or more relatable was with Star Wars. So I said, it's like putting Rey, Baby Yoda, and Mando on the front cover of the original trilogy. Just a big F you to fans. So it's like using sequel trilogy or completely other timelines to put on the front cover of an original trilogy DVD or something, or Blu-ray. It's using characters that are out of time, characters that never existed, or in ways that they were never supposed to be written, to put them on a cover of the Lord of the Rings novels. So this is where I first saw it. So Fellowship of Fans, they did this back on the 20th of April and they dropped that Reddit link, which we saw before right here. Now, our favorite people, the OneRing.net, actually said this, very interesting. If they were to do this, it would be a huge miss and show how disconnected the corporate machine is from the community. The OneRing.net actually wants to say it would be a huge miss and show how disconnected the corporate machine is from the community. However, what they're saying now is, that was when this was released on the 20th of April, this leak. Now when it gets confirmed that the books are actually coming out, they want to say this. For many of us, this will be our fourth rodeo of high fantasy. Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, Game of Thrones, Rings of Power. So pay attention to who is sharing positive vibes. Most of us aren't chasing clout or upvotes or views. We've been there. We only want a good show made by capable artists. They want to still call out people who want to make videos, like myself, like others. They want to call out what Amazon is doing and what the showrunners and writers have said, that it is not Tolkien and it's not Tolkien's work. They're just co-opting it to use their own story and agenda. But the OneRing.net, when this leak was announced, they wanted to say it would be a huge miss. But now they want to come out and still go after fans who are passionate about it and say, pay attention who's sharing positive vibes. Why do we have to be positive at everything just because it's Lord of the Rings? That's not being positive. That's allowing companies to just do exactly what they said before. Co-opt it and take over and show how disconnected the corporate machine is. They don't care. They're just making whatever they want because it says money. Which I saw this meme that reminds me. Right, we've got too much money. Any ideas? We could ruin Lord of the Rings, like as a prank. Yeah, F it. Here's $1 billion for a TV show. Have you read the books? What books? Exactly. That's how I feel that Amazon is doing right now with this series. And I've seen a few people talk about this as well, because that's what Tolkien wanted, to continue telling stories of Middle-earth from other minds and hands wielding paint and music and drama. Yes, tell other stories from Middle-earth, not take the stories that are already told and repurpose them to fit your own narrative and your own agenda as a marketable TV show for the world to see. Sure, if you want to make your own fantasy offshoot stories of like in your own personal time for your own ideas, that's totally fine. You can do whatever you want. But when you're talking about a company taking the actual work and repurposing it for their own agenda, well, that's a different story. And that's exactly what's happening and why people are rejecting it in droves. When you look at the amount of comments and quote tweets, it's up to 233 now. I think it's like 200 and something comments as well. So it's a ratio. And a lot of people are just saying, let's just post what you already have of Tolkien's work instead of going and getting this new stuff. So amazing to see a lot of people look at all that work. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Shout out to everyone who's posted their photos of their old books from Tolkien, and we're not going to buy this new stuff. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share this video out there, and I'd like to thank my members at the Two Towers level, Daniel James and Sir Straith. And we'll see you all in the next one.